Good evening, MRL race fans, and welcome to race number 2 of the Sunday Lights series. We are here at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Joining me here this is BS14 Cars, and joining me here in the booth is, of course, Private Patton and our in-race reporter in Tansby, Vegas, also known as Liam. Liam's here looking for a little bit of redemption tonight. How you doing tonight, Liam?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Last night it seemed like you had a long run car, but you were never really able to get the track position to make use of that. Is Are you going to go in with that same strategy tonight, or are you going to try to have a shorter run car?
I mean, based off what I had the time to, I guess, test out in a way, to put it simply, from last night, I'm gonna do the same approach here. I like what I saw, and I think I can replicate it and be better tonight.
Very true. I think that last night we had a string of cautions near the end of the race. I think it's going to be a race of comers and goers. We have the short run drivers. You're looking at Justin Shackett, looking at Hunty, looking at Jordan Jaga if he happens to be in the lobby. I don't know if he is or not. But guys like that run really well during the first, I don't know, 5, 10, maybe even 15 laps of a run. But then you have your guys that come in later on in the run, looking at Mo Powcat, looking at yourself, Liam. I can't think. And then there's, of course, Xander, who's good regardless. So there's always that. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this race plays out. There were a lot of tempers flaring last night, and it'll be interesting to see if that repeats or if we get a more spaced out race.
Well, of course, the reason why we had a couple of tempers flaring was because the infamous turn one hard braking zone. One of those tracks that you don't really think will catch you out, but it does because there's actually a piece of the safer barrier that juts on out, and if you're not paying attention, you can just slap that wall.
I think both ends of the track actually have their own unique challenges. Of course, you've already brought up the hard braking zone in turn one, but then you can also spin out coming off turn two. You can hit the outside wall coming off turn two, depending on how your car's set up. Then going into turn three, you could wash up the track or hit the apron and spin yourself out that way. So there's challenges all around this racetrack, and that's what makes it so fun to drive when you get some green flag racing.
Of course, you yourself, BS, had a long run car yourself. Now, of course, there's no way for you to take us through an actual lap around Gateway, but for you specifically yesterday, the Cup cars and Xfinity cars are way different. I feel like Xfinity is a little bit tighter, so I feel like you had to run a little bit of a less of a setup, or like a looser preset. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, but which turn do you think was the best opportunity to pass?
That one's honestly, I think the best place to pass is probably
You two
turn
can
three
join back.
actually, because in turn one it's so difficult to get underneath someone without just either blasting them up the track or which some people didn't care about that. No names, but anyway, some if it's hard to get it under there and then stick and get a decent drive off. Whereas going into turn three, you kind of want to hold the bottom anyway. So if you can get underneath someone in turn three, you're more likely to be able to complete the pass in turn four without blowing all of your speed.
And now, it's a good thing that you talked about that because as you were beginning to talk about with turn one specifically, you said that it's so incredibly hard to pass without just blasting them up the track. Most people will think that turn one and turn two is the best passing opportunity. I would disagree, actually. So I guess technically, I would agree with you then, because if you're on the bottom coming out of turn two. You are at the disadvantage. It is, yes, you get the run in. Essentially, you want to slide job your competition by going into turn one, and then going out of turn two, you want to be up on top. 50.
Oh, am I good to join, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Liam said we could join. I don't know if you heard that. Obviously not. So, by the way, I don't know if I introduced myself. I don't know if people know me or not, but I am Private Patton, so welcome. I'm actually curious if anyone's actually gonna, just for shots and goggles, take a right-hand turn and kind of go into that little outlet of the wall right there. So we'll have to see how that goes. But looks like everyone is definitely a little bit confused on their running order, but they'll have to get formed on up here soon. So Liam is going to lead us to pole with Xander being the points leader, being in P2. After that, you have Justin Shackett on the outside, right behind Liam, as well as the 54 right below. So then you have Hunty and then Bassbuck right here in the 66. That is going to be a bunch of unknowns because there are some returning. Jagger, that is Angels fan back there in that 89 Chevrolet Camaro. We'll have to see how he does on his return. But yes, Nathan said, I didn't make most of my passes getting out of turn 4, but we'll have to see here because going into lap 1 here, we are green for the Sunday Night Lights. Liam had a great start going in there, and he's going to look on down, and because of that, you have a very nice and even kind of everyone kind of taking their time, everyone going real single file real quick there.
And I'm actually curious to see how the 54 of Mo Powercat will do here. Last night he started really deep in the field, and he had to make his way through a lot of traffic to get to the top 5. So I'm wondering how he'll do here starting up near the front.
He did eventually get there, of course. He finished P4 last night. So we'll have to see how that goes. Same thing with Hunty. Hunty had an abysmal night last night. It was actually probably one of the worst races that he's had, apart from when he had a hot day with the barrels. He was spinning. He was hitting the safer barrier. Like, you name it, he went through it last night. He even got lapped, which is very un-Hunty-like.
Yeah, Hunty had a very un-Hunty-like race last night, and he's definitely looking for redemption tonight. All these guys going single file relatively quickly. I don't know if we talked about...
That 10 right there must have misjudged his braking zone. That's going to be 3 wide coming off of turn 2 right there. I didn't mean to cut you off there, BS, but the 10 just got probably locked up those brakes just a little bit too much, and that kicked up to 78. But Bassbuck right behind him at 66. Again, I wanted to point out, this is his first race in the lights. Decided, you know what, I don't want to go 3 wide too soon, so now we're going 2 by 2.
And you can see it here down the back straightaway as I was about to bring it up. We didn't talk about it very much, but the draft here coming down to the straightaways is very potent. It's not like what your Michigans or your auto clubs, for example, but if you that top side going down the straightaway definitely has but that top side definitely has a draft advantage.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one of the few tracks that the top side is actually the preferred groove in some tracks. Turns 3 and 4, you want to be on the bottom, but turns 1 and 2, you want to be up top. And look at that battle for P2. Xander must be loving this right now.
Xander's definitely loving this. He wants them to keep on battling and just go ahead and drive away. He wants to be out of there ASAP as he washes up the track a little bit in turn 4.
But honestly, with him having that much space in between himself and second place, you have an opportunity to start saving tire and fuel. Now, no matter how we slice it, with the amount of laps that we have, we're looking at a two-stop. Very, very plain and simple two-stop. But with the amount of fuel in the tank, there is a possibility of some strategy playing out should a caution fly at the right moment. Of course, that's a big what if. You don't never want to bank on a caution. You always want to go into strategy assuming it's going to go green the entire way, because always better be prepared than not prepared at all, right? So that we'll have to see. But yeah, looks like, man, I see the entire field basically battling for P2 right now. You have a pack of 9 cars. We have a 14-car field tonight, and the entirety of the top 10 is all within spitting distance of second place.
And while you're riding along with the top 10, I'm riding back here with the 41 of Jordan Jaga. He's dropped out of the draft. I don't know if something happened to him or if he's playing some sort of strategy, but that kind of surprises me because he showed a bit of short run speed last night, and I kind of expected him to be charging forward tonight, but it hasn't been happening for him so far.
Well, in the beginning of the race, unbeknownst to anyone watching the stream right now, in the Discord, he said he was going to drop to the rear. To me, anyway, that shows that there is some kind of strategy play. He had qualifying, his actual, let me pull that up, his actual qualifying place was actually in P8, so he could have started exactly where he did, but he chose to drop to the rear. So that, to me, telegraphs that he has some kind of strategy in play.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. Now that we have the background information, he's kind of gaining on that front pack a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's pushing all that hard either.
Well, we'll have to see. Because if I'm counting my laps correctly, we're on lap 13 right now, Liam.
11.
I'm always like 1 or 2 off. But yeah, you can definitely see that there's 2 cars that kind of dropped off from this lead pack. That is the 61 and the Zero Story Square. Zero Story Square making his return to the Sunday night series where he gets points at. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it last night, but he is back in action this week, and he's looking for a good result.
5 of VT Fan 25 looks like he lacked out the race, so that'll be P14 to him.
Well, that is unfortunate. Yep, that is, starting off the race, sometimes, engine trouble just strikes you at the worst time.
Ooh, that was almost street wide there. Liam got the worst of that one. Bass up the P2. He's trying to look for redemption from last night, I think. He did not have a great race overall. He did rebound back to P5, but he spent most of the race outside the top 10. I think he's looking to show everyone, hey, I have speed, and I'm going to show all y'all that tonight.
Oh, yeah. Same thing with Liam, as you said in the pre-race notes. Liam was looking for redemption, and he's showing it right now. He trying to get that pass done on P3. That high side momentum, though, will carry Shackett up through the top. A little bit of bumper touch, but that's honestly just no harm, no foul there. The 10 just washes up the track, trying to get a slow in, fast out, but went up a little bit too high right there.
Yeah, they're still battling. This is about the point in the run where you expect the long run cars to start showing their speed.
Oh, and the 15 of Hunty slapped the safer barrier going into turn 1, much like he did last night, and he hits the outside safer barrier coming out of turn 2. Hunty, again, having either he's too tight or he's so loose that he's just sliding right now.
Yeah, that kind of happens sometimes. Sometimes that wall just sneaks up on you. I've hit it, I think I hit it 2 or 3 times last night just trying to get that arc into the corner, but just went a little bit too high and hit the wall.
Yeah, sometimes that's just how it be. I mean, much like what I was talking about in the pre-race notes, it is, if you're not paying attention or if you're in a big, long draft, you don't see it coming. There are some that run chase. There are some that run the roof cam. That's my personal favorite. And there are some that run cockpit. And especially the lower you are to the ground, the less that you see. And I've seen it in other league races or just in general. If you're in a line and all of a sudden they just turn left, that edge of the safer barrier is absolutely going to destroy you.
Yeah, it certainly happens. I want to point out 54 made a power move on the outside of the 10 right there for P4, and now he's just looking under Liam for P3.
That was a little bit of contact right there, kind of washed Liam up the track. I knowing UK, that was not intentional. I think he just went in a little bit too hot.
I think that's just racing at Gateway. It's very tight, and little bits of contact like that will definitely just happen sometimes.
Yeah, but it's not about if you fall. It's about how fast you get back up. Of course. What's one position on lap 18
That's
when
my bad, Monty.
When you can actually just regroup. That's not my position right now. I'll just regroup and get it back later.
Yep, and for sure, Liam's still in P5, and then he's a smart racer, so he'll get back up and get back into this. And this is definitely the part of the run where the long run cars are going to start moving their way forward. So we'll see what happens with that.
Oh yeah, the 66 is starting to pull away from this pack. The 54 is trying to pull away, but that draft is kind of keeping the 10 alongside with him. The 15 of Hunty's trying to get past Liam. He put the nose beneath the quarter panel, but nothing can come of it right here in this on this lap.
And this just crossed my mind. I think I saw it a couple times yesterday with the 11. How late in a race does it have to be before you start considering running the IndyCar line down the straightaways here?
Oh, what? Start snaking? You mean?
Yeah, like breaking the draft.
When you are definitely, it has to be on fresh tires. I feel, because when you're on like worn tires, that is when, like, if you let's just say hypothetically you're in like a pack of like 3 or 4 just in a line, and you snake like that, by you going up, you're actually opening the door based on how tight or loose you are to potentially not be able to make turn 3 at as good of an angle as you want. So the earlier in the run, the better, honestly, because you want to get away and utilize those fresh tires to the best of your ability.
That makes sense.
That's just me, though.
I totally understand. I think I did the same thing yesterday. I would just run my line. I just wanted to hear a different opinion on it.
Yeah, and actually, and speaking of running your line, I'm actually seeing a bunch of different lines in both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A lot of people trying to like diamonding the corner a little bit, and there are also a lot of those that are just kind of bottom feeding right now. I've noticed that Xander and Bass are both bottom feeding. There are also those like Hunty and the 61 of Keith back there and towards the end of this line that are kind of diamonding turns 1 and 2, washing up the track, and essentially you're making the backstretch just a little bit longer by powering up a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I like diamonding 1 and 2. I think on and this is going to be a different opinion for 3 and 4. In 3 and 4, I like the diamond on fresh tires. But once the grip of the rear tires starts to go away, where it doesn't really gain you any speed to diamond the corner anymore, then you want to bottom feed.
That would actually make sense. And Liam's also one of those that's trying to make the backstretch a little bit longer, trying to hold on to that little bit of draft. I'm sure he has it right now. But actually, Liam, let's actually hear from you a little bit. So, what lap? Well, let's start with the questions. What lap are we on right now?
Coming to 24.
Coming to 24, and if you don't mind me asking, how many laps do you have, and what are your tires at?
I have 11 at the moment, and my rights are 37 and 36.
Okay, so you will be comfortably able to make it the remaining 11 laps, so no problem there. So then, assuming we're in that ballpark, BS, that means we're going to be seeing a very clear-cut 2-stopper. There's no way anyone can make it in a 1-stop. And then tires is basically, like I said, unless we get a caution, that's what I wanted to preface when I was talking about that earlier, is that unless we get a yellow, it's going to be a 4-tire stop for the final stop.
Yeah, I think this is a very clear-cut strategy here. It actually sounds very similar to the Cup tire wear, which had me pitting at about 35 lap segments.
Yeah. Oh, and honestly, well, in the Cup cars, the fuel tank is a little bit bigger, so you can actually run more laps on fuel, and that's what I was seeing last night. That there were some based on their tire that was able to run the entire distance, and there are some that was able to, well, not able to. They had to pit a little bit before because of their tire wear. One of those that I think definitely had to was Bass. Hunty had to as well.
Well, you just had 2 of them snake the backstretch, though, Patton.
They just went right to that little open area in the backstretch. I thought it was funny.
Oh, they did the opening. Was it UK and Hunty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course it was. Those two. I was hearing in the Discord, apparently Hunty was trying to get as much draft as possible, so wherever he went, wherever UK went, Hunty had to go. So, and that's just, sometimes that's just the joke part of the race. There's nothing that you have to do, but it's just something, like as you're just clicking off laps.
Wall trying to do it.
Oh well, don't do that.
Come on, don't do
Liam,
that. No.
Yeah,
come on.
It's
you got
all
a good
fun.
race in P6.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you actually hit the wall.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of long runs, we've got our comers and goers here. 54 and the 15 are showing some strength, and the 10 falling back into the clutches of the 78 again.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I'm seeing is the 0. Oh, there goes Hunty taking that again. As I was going on through Hunty on the Discord saying, I was trying to pass you on the outside, but
I don't think that's going to work.
I know. I don't think that's going to work either. But, the 92 is hardcore lagging. That is some Liam lag right there. The 0 is going to take a little bit of emergency precautions right there. But yeah, the 0, though, is starting to make his way to the front, though. That was one of those that I was talking about. That is definitely looking to have a little bit of long run pace, and he is trying to make his way to the front right now.
He's definitely had a great season.
Ooh,
Looks like the 89. Yeah.
Oh, that is Jagger. That is Angels fan making his first pit stop. Of course, the window is open. I mean, there's no harm, no foul for what he's trying to do. But yeah, if the tires are willing and the window's open, then might as well come on down, right? Like the 93's on down, the 89's on down. Of course, both of them, this is not their points night, so essentially they're just here for the practice for tomorrow. And actually, I do believe, if I'm counting my cars correctly, those are the only. Oh, I guess Gio as well. Gio was for Sunday points, but then recently changed to Monday last week. So yeah, those 3 are the only ones for Sunday points in this series. Or Monday points, sorry, my bad.
Shackett's pitting this time.
Oh, he's gonna get the undercut. Now, one thing, BS, I don't know if we talked about it, but the undercut is extremely potent around here. But he misses pit entry. He's gonna go through the grass a little bit. That's just gonna naturally slow him down. And that is
That looked like my pit entry from yesterday. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about the undercut, yeah, for the Cup cars, I don't know how it is for the Xfinity cars exactly. I would assume similar, but you get about 8/10 a lap from every second.
Ooh, Xander's spinning. He is in the access road. Oh, he's going to have to back up. That lead is now gone.
Yeah, Story Square is going to be him in the pits. That is a huge game changer.
Oh, yeah, and the 92, unfortunate for him, has to wait for Xander, essentially, because you cannot go side by side on this pit road. What? Oh, that could change the complexity of this race now.
For sure, that gives the
Oh,
lead
got a
over
better chance
to
of a podium.
Bassbuck. And about that pit road, you practice it. If you practice it on new tires, you'll go in there and they'll be like so easy, and you'll think, man, this pit road's easy. But then you go in the pit road on 3% tires, and you start wrecking, and you're like, oh boy, maybe that wasn't so easy.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I would imagine the rest of us are pitting this time.
on worn tires. Oh, the 41 of Jordan Jowd. There's no way he didn't speed right there. The 41 of Jordan Jowd. Maybe he thought we were still in elite, where there aren't any black flags. But yeah, that was a hot pit road right there. But yeah, we'll have to see. Liam, are you out of fuel right now?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. Think pit lane's right here.
I'm sorry, Liam, for coming up on you at that wrong moment. But yeah,
pit
Bass
lane's right here. We're good.
Okay, just saying. But yeah, Bass.
Not speed.
Honestly, if I was Bass, I mean, there's no way that he would have known, unless he has the stream up, to have known that Xander was essentially spinning, going into pit lane right there. I would have pit the lap after. You want to mitigate as much of that undercut as possible. Tires are that important around here.
Yeah, for sure. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Story Square, but then a lot of action picked up on pit road. Story Square, he had a great season during the for fun season. Had a pretty good string of top 5 results, and ended up getting signed by the Chaos Crew. And I think he's been making waves and lights, and he's having a good run here tonight.
Of course, yeah, that was definitely making some waves, and that's just all about what. That's what Lights is all about, honestly. Is just starting to make those waves. Now, one thing though is another very career season. Unfortunately, he's not here in this race. Was the 21 of T-Bird. Unfortunately, he did not post a lap, so he will not get points for this race. But the 21 of T-Bird got his first career win, in last season and Lights at Atlanta. So we'll have to see as this season goes on that we could have some more firsts going into this race. The 54 coming out of 54 actually coming out of pit lane, so he pit a lap after everyone. That's 5 bonus points to add to his pocket right there.
Yeah, that is one reason that we haven't talked about for why you might want to stay out, even though everybody else is coming in, depending on how much you really value those 5 bonus points for leading the lap. And Story Square, with his undercut, he pitted a few laps earlier than everyone else, and he's up here in P3 right now.
Let him up, Story.
Well, one thing that Story Square is he's in P3. He's in a podium. However, he pit the same lap as Xander, and oh my goodness! Oh, what happened there?
Oh, well, he saved it. Keep it up there, bud.
What happened?
That looked like Heat 5 physics to me.
I don't know. It almost looked like a bit of a lag incident, but like it just seems like
clipped the wall in the game.
Did he clip the wall? There is actually that outside wall right there.
Him and Xander was side by side there, so.
Oh my goodness, the 0 of Story Square. Well, his race isn't over. He must have did like a perfect 720 because he only dropped.
Yeah, it looked janked on my end too. So.
He only dropped 5 positions, which normally is a big amount, but like that's looking at right in front of him. That's only about like 2 seconds. His race is not over.
Yeah, you gotta keep clawing. You never know what could happen.
Oh, we have another DNF out of this race. Actually 2 DNFs. I apologize. Looks like the 89 of Angels fan and the 93 of Loho. Just unfortunate nights from them. So this 14-car field now goes to 11. Almost one unlucky person will not get a top 10 out of this race.
And I'm glad I'm not in this race, because that would be me.
Well, the more you talk about it, the more likely it's going to happen. But okay, so let's take a moment here and caution free so far. One thing that we're seeing here are as you were discussing, the comers and goers. Look who's leading right now. We have the 66 of Bassbuck. I'm sure racing this race also with a little bit of redemption on his mind. He didn't have the greatest of races. Yes, he finished in the top 5, but not the greatest of races as a 44 Geo. Ooh, a little bit of unfortunate contact between him and the Zero, but just did not get out of the gas, and the outside wall met the 44. But yeah, the 66 currently leading, but the 15 right behind him is closing that gap.
Yeah, both these guys here looking for redemption, but for similar kinds of races, and if they get together and start battling, then you've got the 18 and the 54 back there. They could start closing ground as well.
Well, that 18, I'm sure the 54, knowing how UK operates here, he does not want to hold up the progress. If it means potentially gaining 2 spots, he will gladly hold position where he is, if it means that a net gain for him. So I'm sure UK is probably just letting Xander just kind of drag him around a little bit. Yes, he has 3-lap fresher tires, but at the end of the day, I mean, if Xander is just as fast as what that first stint was showing, if I'm UK, I'm actually legitimately thinking about just letting him just drag me up to the 15 of Hunty and then eventually the 66.
Yeah, that's certainly a valid strategy, and we see it a lot on this game where you just kind of want to get in line and push forward if you can.
And actually, I
wish
don't
some
know
people understood that.
now I know that you. Well, okay, again, sorry, Liam. I know that, like I said, you had a very unfortunate race, but look at you right now. You're battling right there. There's a P5. How's the car feel right now?
Good, just need people to learn what the brakes are.
Oh, well, there we go. Sometimes it's just getting into a rhythm right now. It looks like as you made that pass on Shaq, it looked easy right there. It looks like you'll be able to start that rhythm right now.
Yeah, well, when you're the faster car, I'm hoping that I can pass a slow car like that.
Well,
Ooh, shade.
Declaration being made right there. So we'll see how
He's not
this.
gonna make friends.
I never said that. He has Justin Shaka, for anyone wondering, has gone on record saying he is not here for friends. He is here for results. So I mean that's essentially just for context for what Liam was saying. But yeah, so like that's just what I'm talking about. But look behind them. That is the Zero's Toy Square. He does have pace in that Zero machine, but it looks like he just got caught up on his own mistake right there by clipping that outside wall.
The 15 is on the back bumper of the 6-6 right here, going into turn 1.
Oh, yes.
There might be a battle for the lead here before long.
Have you noticed that we're in like two car packs right now?
Yeah,
like,
that kind of happened last night too.
2x2,
Except
15.
for,
the 15 ducks on out, trying to make the pass, showing the 66, hey, I want that. Kind of, that makes the 66 Bassbuck kind of react a little bit. And there's going to be a slight contact coming off of 4, but no harm, no foul. And the 15, based on not having enough momentum, will have to duck back in behind the 66. But yes, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's fine. 6-6 had the high side momentum
Flat
there, and he's going to
47, by
have
the
it
way.
again here. So he should be able to hold this lead coming out of 2. As it looked like did he hit the wall right there?
Yes, I think one of two things happened. A slight contact between the 15 and the 66, or the 66 gassed it up a little bit too soon, and the 66 met the outside wall right there. But the pass is done. The 15 is now the leader, and this lap will be his first lap led. That is 5 bonus points right there. So
Indeed
just by
it is.
Actually, if we look at the points right now, all of the contenders that you would normally see up here are actually in the top 5. We have the 15 of Hunty. We have Xander. Keep in mind, last season, it came down to the final race. 2 points separated those 2 drivers heading into the final race. Of course, Hunty unfortunately lost talent going on the pit road, and that gave the title to Xander. But the fact that these 2, as he was grinding that outside wall right there, just trying to get as much turn in as possible in 1 and 2. But that just shows the consistency of these drivers. And Bassbuck as well, if he would run a full season, definitely saying that, hey, I can ride with the big boys too.
Yeah, for sure. And the 15, the 54, and the 18, we touched on it a little bit. Well, we didn't touch on it on the broadcast, but we kind of commented about it in Discord during the week, saying, hey, these are the big three of Sunday Lights, and they're first, third, and fourth right now, only being broken up by the 6-6 of Bass Buck there.
Oh, but what a battle that the 78 and the 10 are going. It seems like you guys are swapping positions every other lap. You two cannot separate from each other.
We can't.
But with that, though, that actually allowed the 0, and he's just kind of biding his time right now. He's just like, okay, do I go low? Do I just let them battle right now and then try to get 2 for 1, or do I just kind of piece it together? Nathan in chat saying what a turnaround from last night. Exactly. Well, that's one thing I was pointing out. Keep in mind, last night Hunty was at one point a lap down. He was not having a good night.
And the same, I think, can be said for the 6-6 of Bass Buck. So huge turnarounds for both of these guys from outside the top 10 to P1 and P2 right now. They're both having good nights, and
I lagged there.
Liam, no! You lagged out?
No, I said I lagged right there, so...
I thought you said I lagged. Okay, well, good on you for giving your first lag warning, but I will relay that to the Discord. BS, 1 second.
Yep, there we go. And as we were talking about before, 15 and 6-6 both having huge redemption runs here, first and second, after running outside the top 10 for most of last night's race. Yes, Bass got P5 and Hunty did get P7, but last night was just not really their night. Tonight they're looking strong so far.
One thing I also, another person, now, okay, I know this is going to sound weird, but Gio messaged me throughout the week, and he was talking about that he uses Sundays in order to prepare for Mondays. And when originally, because last season he was running for Sunday points, his better season was on Mondays when he was just there for shots and goggles. So he just decided, you know what? Why am I even racing in Sundays when I can still race there for non-points and just get all the practice in for Monday? Essentially, you can use it as a giant test session. But BS, you're a combined series champion, Xfinity champion in season 0. There actually is a benefit for running Sundays. And that is essentially you're testing some unknown waters. If you've done your homework and did some testing, and there's a strategy that may or may not work on Sundays, then you potentially look like a hero. i.e. looking at Darlington.
Yeah, well, if I didn't plow the wall on lap 1, we might be thinking I was a hero for that race. But yeah, I think if you're going to race Sunday for points, I think you definitely have to do your homework ahead of time. You can't just do nothing all week and then show up and think you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Now, of course, there are some that, yes, you just have that natural speed. Looking at Xander or UK Hunty. But there are some, that do actually have to be like, okay, I've never raced here before. Like say MRL is their first racing league. You have a potential, like, this is my first competitive week, and I've never raced at Gateway. What do I need to do? And so they do their testing and be like, okay, so here's the lap times I need to hit, here's the strategy, here's the average fuel run, and here's my tires, and oh man, is an overcut or is an undercut going to work? Because honestly, there are a few times where the overcut actually works out better, where naturally that's just where the tire is just so big that running long is actually faster in the long run than pitting early for tires.
And I think some of that can count on, do you want to take 2 on the last stop? Do you want to cut out the last pit stop completely? We know some drivers in here are notorious for that. You think of Packers at Las Vegas and Kentucky, you think of T-Bird at Atlanta, you think of Xander in general.
You think of almost BS at Darlington.
Yeah, except I didn't. Anyway,
Well, okay? But what I'm getting at though is that the strategies are there, and every one of them are valid. It's up to the drivers to figure out what they are.
for sure, and some drivers have very different talents, and you can see that some drivers are good at the short tracks. Some people are good at
Road
mile and a half.
courses.
Some people are good at road courses. Some people are
Hi.
good at the getting runs off the corners. Some people are good through the centers. Some people like to slide around a little bit. Some people like to tracks with a lot of that are a lot more technical.
Oh yeah, and actually, those we're going to be going to a couple technical tracks here. Looking at Richmond here in a couple weeks. Our first road course is actually next week at Canadian Tire. A little bit of contact between the 78 and the 92 right there. The 92 is coming on strong right now. He was behind all of these guys a few laps ago, and well, think about it. That was P8 all the way to P5 right now. So the 92 is coming.
92's having definitely a strong run. He took some notes from last night, and he's showing a little bit of pace here tonight.
He finished P10 last night, so it's not like he was a slouch. He definitely got the top 10 that I'm sure he wanted. I'm sure, of course, he wanted a top 5. But yeah, come back with a
lap 61.
Lap 61. All right, so actually,
30 to go.
BS, actually, we're coming up on our next stop. Technically, the fuel window is open. I mean, if they wanted to, they could stop right now and make it all the way to the end.
I'm wondering who will actually take advantage of that undercut. You've been talking about it before during the first pit stop. There's a lot of time to be gained by doing so. Who's going to be the first to pull the trigger? If I'm thinking about it, if I'm either the 18 or the 54, because the 15 and 66, just from eyeballing it looks like they've been pulling away just a little bit.
Honestly, I think that's just because I think knowing how Xander operates, I think Xander's kind of using up a lot of his tires and car to try to catch this.
0 and 10 might be in this time.
We'll have to
In
see.
the deal.
Oh, yes, they are. So we're going to keep an eye on... Oh, the 0 almost did what Xander did. Unfortunately, he saved it. Well, I guess fortunately, not sorry. You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
But the 0, fortunately saved it. That's just how difficult this pit road is. You are on the edge in order to get the access road. Now, okay, let's think about strategy here. If you're in Xander's or UK shoes, you're about
92's pitting.
Pit.
Oh yeah, you're trying to get the undercut. You're trying to get as close to these guys as possible.
Yeah, for sure. At that point, just do anything. There's a lot of guys on pit road right now. I see Geo, Shackett, the 0. There are 2 others.
That is our DNFs. That is the 93 of Loho and Jagger Angels fan. If I recall correctly, I think I saw the 89 lag out before, so that's 13th, and 93 of Loho's 12th. That means, like I said, there is still 11 drivers out on board. Still caution free.
Pits.
Oh, did Gio quit? Actually, Nathan, that is a very acute observation right there. Gio is out of this race.
Oh, that's unfortunate, and that means everybody left on track is going to get a top tier here. So golf clap for them. And Hunty's in the pits and is actually the first one on pit road out of these top 4 here. Will anybody else pull the trigger behind him? It won't be Bass. Looks like Xander back there will pull the trigger this time.
Well, Xander definitely, like I said, he wants to be the first on the pit road. Now, obviously, he's not the first, but the 66 is trying to do whatever everyone else doesn't. He thinks that the overcut is going to be his best strategy to win. And to each their own. If you can make it work, try it. But we saw what UK did. He had 3-lap fresher tires, and he was actually starting to lose pace with the 18. So I don't know. I think it's all about track position, getting it out there and just holding it.
I definitely agree with that 100%. It's very hard to pass here, especially on fresh tires when everybody's got grip. Now, once people start sliding around, that's when you can kind of start making your passes, but on those first tires, it's not a fun time trying to pass.
And actually, yeah, that is a big thing that we want to point on out here. Another big thing to point on out is in the Monday side, like I said, we have looks like the 41 of Jordan Judge is down on pit road right now. Like I said, all of these drivers right now are actually racing for points. Bass is declared for Sunday as well. This entire top 10 are points earners. That means in terms of the championship battle, you don't have Sunday drivers to break up when like your points positions. So essentially, you're literally racing your competitors right now, and every point matters. Xander is going to stay out. He already pit, but UK is, I do believe, also not pitting this. Oh, I thought he was. So UK is still out on track. I don't agree with this.
Liam, what lap is it by any chance?
I'm in pit lane right now.
I was just thinking,
20,
can UK go
I
far?
think it's 23 to go.
23
I'm
to go.
just wondering, can UK stretch it enough to make a two-tire strategy?
No, he's
Never
pitting
mind,
this
he's
time.
pitting
No,
on these losers.
I don't know. Maybe he was hoping for a lucky yellow. We've seen that in real life. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Brad Keselowski. These guys just staying on out, hoping to catch a lucky yellow. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
68, by the way. Well, I'm allowed down, so 69.
Nice.
Nice.
So with that, Gio is indeed joining the stream. He said, "Yep, called it a night." But hopefully, you filled that notebook for tomorrow night, Gio. I'm sorry that tonight wasn't the night, but maybe tomorrow will.
Can I point out that Xander and Bass are together right now, and Hunty's a few seconds ahead of them. Something must have happened to the 66 there.
Well, Bass, of course, that could be how aggressive you get on pit lane. Like we've seen it. Some that are kind of overstep that bounds. Looking at Xander, Xander going into the pit lane, spinning. That's taking up all of the available car and the tires that you have. Bass may have been a little bit too conservative, the opposite side where he was just honestly going in a little bit too slow to not make a mistake.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes, and it's hard too because you want to be fast, but you don't want to be too fast going into pit road.
Exactly. I've said it multiple times that there is so much time to be gained going onto pit road, but there's more time to be lost crossing that line.
For sure. There's the 54 is out pit road. He is way out of these guys' league. The overcut. We'll have to see how that plays out. I don't see it working. After we watched that last run, I don't think you can see that working at all.
I'll say it right now, by the way, still caution free in this race. You can see definitely how much the field has spread on out. Of course, with 14 cars starting, we've had 4 DNFs out of this race, and actually all but VT Fan. VT Fan is actually racing for points, but all of them are the Monday drivers. Building their notebook for tomorrow. The rest of these guys are actually out here racing each other for the title. And currently, as you call it, the big three in 1 through 4 right now, with Bass being the pick in between them.
Yep, and let's actually do a run through the field since we haven't had one all day. So P1 is Hunty. He's looking for redemption after last night's mess of a race for him. He's doing very well so far. P1 looking to hold it with less than 20 to go at this point. P2 you have, I assume, still Bass. Yes, indeed, he is still P2. He's also, like Hunty, looking for redemption after poor showing. Even though he did get P5, he was not really relevant for most of the race. P3, you have Xander. He had a good showing last night. He was battling with our race winner, Mayo, all race long yesterday, and he's looking strong again today, and he's trying to rebound from spinning coming on the pit road. P4, you have Mo Power Cat, if I can find him. There he is. He's coming off turn 4. He had a good run as well. I think he was one spot shy of a podium yesterday. BD coming in, spoiling that for him with his fresher tires. But Mo Power, he's very consistent running in the, especially in this series, but in Cup as well. He's almost seems to always find his way to the podium or at the very least top time, and somehow, some way. P5, I believe, is Justin Shackett, if I can find him.
Wasted actually just took that spot because, not to cut you off, BS, but Shackett was side-by-side with Story Square, and I can imagine Shackett probably got onto the gas a little bit too soon, and Story Square was just an unfortunate victim, getting a little bit loose from the 10th, so now the 92 is actually P5.
92, P5, and Justin's going to give it a bumper going into turn 1. Very Justin move right there, but it's perfectly legal, and he gets the spot. And yes, that's about as expected, but Shackett back to P5, 92 to P6, but 92, I want to talk about him for a minute. He's been doing pretty, he's like, not been the fastest, but he's been doing pretty well. He hasn't been exactly slouching. I believe he debuted when I first saw him, he was at Homestead, and he had a pretty decent run for most of the race, and last night, I didn't see him very much, but he finished P10, so he obviously didn't do too horribly, and he's learned from that, and now he's battling with Shackett for P5, but Shackett and P5, no friends policy that's coming true tonight.
There we go. There's the payback. There's the payback right there. Of course, Shackett has gone on record saying, I expect to be raced the way I get, to be raced the way I race. So he had to expect the 92 was going to do something to come back here. But yeah.
Yep, that's some very good battling. P7 goes to Story Square. He's been making some waves in the Lights series. We've talked about it a little bit earlier. He's been, relatively quiet tonight, but he's got a little bit of speed under the hood there. I think he might be a little bit faster than at least the 10, if not the 92 as well, but we'll see how that pans on out later on in the race. P8 goes to Liam in the 78. Right on board with him. He had a very unfortunate race last night. He's also been looking for a little bit of redemption. He's running solidly inside top 10 in P8. Not the best day, but not the worst. He's hoping for the long run to come in near the end of this race to kind of pull back up there, but that's a lot of work he has to do to get up there. P9 is 11 to go. P9 is I believe
Jordan Jaga.
Jordan Jaga, yep. Jordan Jaga, he I'm kind of surprised to see him back here personally, except I guess he did get a speeding penalty, but other than that, he had a relatively good race in the in Saturday race. He even got the fastest lap, and he wasn't up front to start the race. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna drop back," and he just hasn't been able to do much of anything. I'm not sure why, but he just hasn't been up there. And
I would assume it's just if I can talk, sorry. I assume it's just an handling car. Maybe what he was making some progress with that pit road speeding penalty kind of wiped that away.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate. That was probably the icing on the cake for yeah. Anyway, 10th place, final car in the race. Last car standing is the 61 of Keith. I don't really have much to say. He's just been riding around here, and he's going to get points, so that's always a good thing. And sometimes that's what you've got to do. You might not have the best car, you might have the worst car on the track, but you keep plugging away at it, and he's got 4 spots essentially for free, and he's going to get top 10 points, and that's nothing to sneeze at. And then
Exactly.
you have your DNFs on pit road, if I can remember. VT is out of the race in P14, and if I can find the others so I can get the order right. Geo is on there as well, and then you have the 89 and
93.
I can't see that other car. 93.
93.
And yeah. So VT P14, Geo I believe P11, and I don't know the order of the other two. I think maybe 89 went out first.
So Geo was P11, Loho P12, Jagger Angels fan P13, and then VT fan was the first one out. But yes, as we get done with our through the field right now, look at the battle for the lead.
Xander's angry. He's mad that he spun coming on the pit road, and there's only a few laps to go, maybe about 6 or so. And
Yeah, 6.
he's
Hey, look at BS actually getting it right. Damn, wish I could do that.
yeah 6 laps to go. Xander's looking to get back up there. He's certainly gonna feel like he lost this race. When
Tell you what, a battle for 5th is heating up too. Tree call pack.
Oh yeah, so there's actually 2 major battles going on right now. Meanwhile,
Yeah, if
UK.
them kids want to race, that would be nice.
Why do you say kids? Like I've noticed, like that's like your trademark. If you don't mind me asking.
Because most people that hang around tend to be younger than me.
Ooh, and that 10
would
right
be by
there.
half a year old.
The 10 spins. The 10 spins coming off of turn 4.
That was the 0 that spun.
Oh, well, the 10 closed that door, and the 0 was honestly like I don't think he let go of the gas, and because of that, he got into rumble strips and off he went right there. But yeah, that was that. Well, I guess his day done and dusted.
After.
Oh yeah, we'll have to. If I'm the 0, I'll be messaging Shaq and be like, hey, what's going on?
and those are teammates as well, so that's
Yes, that
that'll be
is
an awkward
with
conversation.
Shackett being the co-owner of that team, and essentially you. Well, that is not going to be a fun team meeting. But yeah, wait, you said what? How many let go?
4 to go.
4 to go.
Coming to 3 to go, I believe.
Yeah, 3 to
Yeah,
go
that's
as
on
a
that 3 right now.
yeah.
And as
Honestly,
we're coming to 3 to go, they've got some lap traffic in front of them. That's the 61 of Keith struggling with his car a little bit. So lap traffic looks like it's going to be a factor here.
now thankfully, not the game doesn't simulate dirty air as well as the ignition or ignition. That's probably the one thing that they do right is the simulation of dirty air. Same thing with F1 as well. In Heat 5, you don't really have dirty air that much. It's just really up to and pray that the lap traffic just kind of gets out of the way. Just picks a line and just lets him go. Now, if I'm the 15, I'm hoping the 61, does exactly that. It just gets on out of the way and just stays in the grass. That's going to allow the 18 as well as the 66 to go on by. Excellent move by Keith, knowing that I'm not going to gain a position by the end of this race. And 2 to go right now, by the way.
Yep, 2 to go, and I just don't think there's enough time for the 18. He hasn't been making up enough ground over these past few laps to really get a good shot at the 15. I do think he's a little bit faster, but I just don't think he has the time.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Now, if knowing Xander, what he's going to do, much like what he did last night, he's going to throw a Hail Mary going into turn 3 right here. We're going to be on board with Bass because if he overjudges it, it may actually loses him a position right here. So we'll have to see. Going into turn 3, what's the 18 going to do?
This is
He is full send right there in turn 3. Now, this may open up the door for the 66. No, actually, he doesn't. The 66 actually just allows the 18 just stay in front. Coming to the flag.
That'll be a 15 for a win. And everybody's going to wreck coming across the line because why not?
Because, exactly, why not? The battle for P5, though. UK is going to handily hold there. The 10 going up the track, the 92 and the 10 working so hard to pass each other. And that is a P5 for Shackett, P6 for Wasted, P7 for Liam. Story Square is going to finish P8. Right there across the line, wreck as you do. Everyone's wrecking. Jordan Jauja has not crossed the line, and he's wrecking. And he's gonna run at the clock a little bit. Oh, there he goes. He crossed the line backwards. What a trooper.
And then you have Keith rounding out the top 10. So well done to Hunty. What a rebound after last night's race. And Xander as well. What a recovery drive for from spinning onto pit road all the way back up to P2. I'm sure that stings a little bit for him, but it's a great job nonetheless to be able to be that close to it after that. And then Baz as well. What a recovery from him after last night. He named himself in the Discord, I believe it's zero talent because of last night, but he did get P5 last night. But tonight, he was up front, start to finish.
Xander with a fast
Well
lap.
done.
That is, I think, a full second. I think to the thousand. I have to look back on that. A full second slower than the race time from last night. So I'll have to see on that.
I think last night was a 32-217.
The 7 and the 1 were flipped.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But either way,
Yeah,
you see, you'll see what I was talking about. But yeah, anyway, so let's get these guys up here into the booth because Liam, good race, bud. It's a shame that you weren't able to get that top 5, but still a P7, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, good job, dude. It was a lot better than last night, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hunty, and then
I'll be better next week. We go to a road course.
Canadian Tire, baby. Now, I will say right now, I'm fully expecting everyone on the pace lap to do the jump. Every single race.
Wait, there's a jump.
At Canadian Tire, you never knew that, BS?
I've never raced there, so...
you never raced and took the jump at Canadian Tire?
The kid.
No.
Wow.
I guess someone will have to show me that.
Oh my god. This man.
Hey guys, say it with me. I have no talent.
I have no talent.
No talent.
All right.
I needed to get that.
So, hey, Pat, and I'll interview Xander if you want to do the other two.
Sure, that's fine. First and foremost, guys, do you guys know what the jump is at Canadian Tire?
Who doesn't?
BS, apparently.
Wow, you need to. That's disappointing. I'm disappointed in you.
See? BS, it's a common known thing.
No talent.
In my defense, I've never raced there, so...
Anyway, so let me get to Timmy. Good race from you, Brandon. You have a. It seems like you originally had the strategy to beat, but the 15 was able to close you on down, and the 18 was actually able to pass you back after. This was your first race for points here on Sunday. How was the car feeling behind the wheel?
Well, I felt pretty good. I got to the lead and just kind of lost. I don't know. I can't drive in the lead. I have to have someone in front of me. That's just how it is. I don't know. I just lose everything. So, got by Nazi, maintained, stayed out 3 extra laps. I guess it didn't really matter. But then me and Xander were catching him at the end, and then he kind of just moved me out of the way. But oh well. I don't think he meant to though. But it is what it is. So whatever. But congrats to him. Me and him were pretty damn equal. There was nothing really. I don't know. I tried.
That's sensitivity training.
I didn't say the other word. Okay.
But yeah, the GMI I guess post race will be pretty interesting on that. But yeah, no, Brandon, you had a really good race. Of course, this was a little bit of redemption. Yes, you finished P5 last night, but you felt like you could have had a car that was up there with Mayo and Xander. You just got caught up in not lap traffic, just traffic in general.
Yeah, I got completely dumped like 5 times last night, so that's kind of what does it.
But you did not get dumped a single time this time, so it was a good opening race. Now, I do want to ask, of course, I don't know if this was a one-time thing, but if you are looking at Canadian Tire next week, what are your expectations for that?
Well, if I do race next week, I love road courses. I hear Hunty's pretty good at them, so we'll see how that goes. But I feel like I love road courses. My favorite kind of thing to do in this game, so we'll see. Should be fun if I do race.
Well, there we go. Sometimes you just gotta do what you love, and sometimes that's the road courses. Actually, Lights actually has two road courses on the schedule. The first being Canadian Tire, which is next week, and then race number 8 of the season is the Indy road course. So we'll have to come back to that. So Bass, excellent race. BS, you want to take our second place finisher?
Yep. Um, Good afternoon, Xander. Patton's famous question. How are you doing?
Not good. I'm very mad at myself.
Understandable. You had a very strong car, and I'm personally am impressed that you were able to drive it up back all the way back up to P2 and get as close as you were. Can you take us through your recovery drive?
Um, well, you just run laps. I don't know. It's so frustrating that the pit road thing happened because I listened to Pat and he said before the race that he likes to be down in 3, and I went to 3rd and I spun myself out, and then the next time on pit road I had my best pit entry of all time. I thought I sped, honestly. I just was so pissed off at myself. Um, no, we had a good car. Thanks to Monster. This is fast as actually, no, it sucked. Worst car I've ever had there. So, Gio, you suck at a zone owner. I'm about ready to leave. I'm joking. People won't know that, though. I'll release my inner Kyle Busch. I felt like that we suck, and we should have just been better. I don't know how I ended up catching Brandon, and I dumped Brandon's stuff on accident. Obviously, me and Brandon were gaining a lot, and I was trying to stay behind him, and me and him were talking in the party, and I cooked him into the corner, and the rest is history. So it sucks because I felt that I wouldn't have had been in that situation if I didn't spin out. So I'll be here tomorrow. I wasn't gonna race unless I won, but I'll be here tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see for sure.
All right, and next week we'll be at Canadian Tire. You're going to be going into that with the points lead still, and you are definitely known as one of our road course aces. So, how are you going to go into that with this race to set the stage for that?
Well, I love Canadian Tire. It's my favorite road course. I heard Honey's good there. I'm just gonna beat him. That's all I've been trying to do. Well, I can try. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed in life other than death. So we're gonna try and win. That's obviously the goal. But if not a win, a good solid points finish. Consistency is something that I pride myself on. So if we can just walk out of there with a top 5, top 3, I'll be pretty excited. But I'm pissed, just very frustrated at the moment. Especially, well, I'm not even mad at myself. I'm mad at myself. I'm not mad at anyone but myself, and I'm mad that I didn't. What am I trying to say here? I am mad. I'm not mad for myself. I'm not mad that I ended up finishing second. I'm mad that I took Brandon out of the contention basically because I felt like he could have caught him if I didn't wreck him. So I feel bad for my team, and it won't happen again.
Understandable. Well, good job on your recovery drive.
Thank you.
And good luck next week. I expect to see you up there as well as Hunty. And speaking of Hunty, Patton, would you like to do the honors?
The trash can himself, Auntie. How are you doing?
Good.
So it seemed like this entire race was, and I guess by extension, tomorrow is going to be the theme of redemption. You were at one point 1 lap down last night, not having a fun race at all. Able to rally back to finish P7. So tonight, it seemed to show that you actually had a lot of speed in that number 15 Chevrolet Camaro. What was it like for you?
I mean, I was kind of surprised I popped in the first after the first stop. But I didn't think I was gonna have a speed. I thought I was gonna be, I don't know, probably around fourth in that race. Just like I think I was in Cup yesterday. But I was wondering what Xander did.
Yeah, little
But
the gateway pit road entry is one of the hardest in the games, and that's just because it's just so open. But yeah, that's what happened.
I felt like I had two pretty good pit entries in those two stops. I didn't get a 16-second stop either.
Hey, sometimes when it seems to be that like whenever you don't get a 16-second stop, you end up winning the race. So maybe it's on your pit crew. But yeah, no. So much like the theme that we've had here, all three of you guys up on the podium love Canadian Tire. Are already practicing Canadian Tire.
I haven't touched it yet.
Oh well, okay. I guess what you said in the chat lied to me then. But yeah, you had still though, like road racing is arguably your specialty. That's how the nickname Trash Can applied to you, is that you're trash on anything but road courses. Obviously that's changed over time, but you had
Has it done?
Fire.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But yeah, it seems to be that next week will be in your playhouse. What are your expectations other than taking the jump turn one or lap one?
Landing the jump.
Hey, there we go. How though? On all four wheels, on your roof side? How are we expecting this?
Flipping 15 times.
All right. If not, it'll be a point deduction for any times that you don't do it. So, with that though, Hunty, it seems like next week is going to be very confident. At least that's how I'm sounding right now, or how I hear, is that you're going to go into next week with a lot of confidence. You're going to see all three of these guys next week. Hopefully, well, Bass at least. But Liam definitely for sure our inner supporter. So, BS, any final thoughts before we close on out for the night?
I just want to say congrats to all three of you on the podium, and I hope you guys will all be here next week for Canadian Tire.
Podium guys, any shout outs you want to do before we close it on out?
Thanks to my mom. I'm sorry, Brandon. So I cut you off again, just like I did in the race. Shout out to my mom. And I apologize for my language. Fuck you, Gio.
That's sensitivity training.
And with that, we're gonna pop this out of the stream. So, we are. With that, this has been Millennium Racing League with the Sunday Night Lights. Congratulations to the podium guys of Hunty getting his first win of the season. That was a landmark performance to actually kind of jumpstart his title fight after. Well, yes, it was a top 5, but his nearest competitors also finished in the top 5. So, excellent job there. Xander still has the points lead, though. He finished P2.
I might get a point deduction for that.
No.
Mandatory point.
But yeah, with that, Bassbuck gets his in his first career start, his first career MRL Lights podium. So excellent job from him. And like I said, Liam, thank you so much for being our inner supporter. BS, thank you for joining me up in the booth. And with that, this has been Private Patton with MRL, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Lights at Gateway. Good night, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
Violence.